उसके बाद जो अपना बचा हुआ जीवन है वो इस कॉज के लिए हमने समर्पित कर दिया है। हम लोग पहले से ही दूसरों के दुख से दुखी होने वाले आदमी हैं और हमेशा इच्छा थी कि दूसरों के लिए कुछ करें। फिर हमने डॉक्टर BM भारद्वाज का अपना घर का काम देखा और उसके बाद हमें इस काम को करने की प्रेरणा मिली। इस आश्रम में ऐसे ऐसे लोगों को रेस्क्यू किया गया है, महिला प्रभु जी को, जो बहुत दुख और दर्द में थे। उसमें हर तरह के लोग हैं जो घर से निकाले गए हैं और कई तरह के मानसिक और शारीरिक रोग से युक्त हैं। उन लोगों की सेवा करके और उनके चेहरे पर मुस्कान लौटता हुआ देख करके हमें बहुत आनंद हो रहा है।
यहाँ पर जितने प्रभु जी अभी हमारे साथ हैं, उनके साथ समय बिताना, उनका ध्यान रखना, उनके साथ प्यार बांटना हमें बहुत ही आनंद और सुकून दे रहा है और बदले में मुझे बहुत सारा प्यार भी उनसे मिल रहा है। तो सही शब्दों में बोलूं तो एक आनंद है जो इस काम को करने में, और आनंद दोनों तरफ से है। मुझे बहुत आनंद आ रहा है उनका टेक केयर करने में।
हमारे कर्मवीरों का एक समूह रास्ते पर प्रभुजनों को ढूंढने में कार्यरत रहता है। उन्हें ढूंढकर आश्रम में लाया जाता है। उनका वैद्यकीय जांच करने के बाद उनका आवश्यक उपचार किया जाता है। इनमें से कई लोग वर्षों से नहाए नहीं होते हैं। इनके शरीर में कीड़े पड़े होते हैं और अत्यंत दुर्दशा के शिकार होते हैं। इनके जीवन में काफी आघात, ट्रॉमा, निराशा, अकेलापन होता है और भोजन के अभाव में ये भयानक कुपोषण के भी शिकार होते हैं। किंतु कुछ दिनों के सेवा के बाद ही इनके चेहरे की रौनक वापस आने लगती है। हम उन प्रभु जी को उनके परिवारों के साथ फिर से मिलाने का प्रयास करते हैं, जहां हम उन्हें पुलिस या अन्य माध्यमों की मदद से ढूंढ पाते हैं और संबंधित परिवार उन्हें स्वीकार करने के लिए तैयार हैं। पुणे के मासागर फाउंडेशन में स्वच्छ एवं प्रशस्त रसोई घर हैं, जहां कर्मचारी स्वास्थ्यवर्धक भोजन प्रभु जी को पेश करते हैं। रसोई घर के साथ ही छत पर रचनात्मक गतिविधियां की जाती हैं। हर शनिवार और रविवार प्रमाणित मनोचिकित्सक तथा अन्य डॉक्टर प्रभु जी की देखभाल करने आते हैं। हर दिन अलग अलग गतिविधियां करने से प्रभु जी अपने जीवन की भयानक यादों से एक प्रकार से मुक्त हो पाते हैं। पुणे का मासागर फाउंडेशन अपने इस कार्य को बढ़ावा देने के लिए उत्सुक है। इस कार्य को आगे ले जाने के लिए हम 30 एकड़ जमीन खरीदकर 2000 बेसहारा और लाचार लोगों के लिए और 2000 अनाथ बच्चों के लिए अपना घर बनाना चाहते हैं, जिसमें अस्पताल और स्कूल भी होंगे। आपके लिए दुनिया की इस तरह की सबसे बड़ी परियोजना में भागीदार बनने का अवसर मासागर फाउंडेशन लेकर आया है। हमारे साथ संपर्क करने के लिए फोन या व्हाट्सएप करें 7498550554। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःख भाग् भवेत्।
Good morning, friends, and welcome to yet another awesome session of Mindful Living. We truly appreciate your taking out time and joining the session today. All sessions of Mindful Living are guaranteed to improve your quality of life, and our session today is no exception. There are many factors which impact our quality of life. It is the quality of education we have, the quality of our living standards, the quality of thoughts we have, and many other factors. There is something different which I would like to talk about today, which is our quality of giving. And personally, I have benefited a lot by giving. My story I have shared in a video. I'll share the link of that in our chat, or some of you are members of Mindful Living community. You would have seen that video earlier. And one of the things I often hear as a pushback when I talk about giving is a fear that people have that they will become impoverished, that something will be taken away from them or something, they will lose something But that's a myth, friends. And having worked with Tata Group for more than about 10 years, I completely resonate with the philosophy that the mission of a righteous person is not merely to live a good life for ourselves or for our immediate family, but to make life better for others. The Tata Group is owned 66% by philanthropic and charitable trusts. And they have been around for more than 100 years, and it has not impoverished them in any way. Today, the valuation of Tata Groups is estimated to be over 11 lakh crore rupees. In terms of US dollars, they're valued at about 140 US dollars. You know, they are giving and giving and giving, and they are benefiting more and more. And our speaker today is one such person, who is a gold medalist, who is a chartered accountant, who has had a very successful corporate career in working with companies like ITC, Unilever, in Indonesia, USA. He's a global professional. And then he joined Nilsons Group, where he created what is commonly referred to in the industry circles as a miraculous growth strategy. He grew the business, which was struggling at that point of time when he joined them, 55 times. And he used something that comes, I guess, naturally to him, is by taking care of people. So he put people at the core of his strategy, and he grew the business. And at the peak of his career, when he was doing so well, he gave it all up. I'm sorry, I'm choking because this is such a powerful story. And I have visited Rajiv ji and I've visited Majagar Ashram and seen the kind of work that he's doing. He gave it all up to serve the destitutes. Before I had seen and met destitutes, I used to think, the level of poverty that I had seen was at the level of maids and drivers who serve us. But when I saw destitutes, I was so moved that how can these people be even called human beings? They're in such condition. And Rajiv ji and his wife Meenakshi ji and his daughter also have been so lovingly been taking care of these destitutes. You saw some of them in the video, and he's going to talk more about it towards the end of the session. The big chunk of the session would be about his strategy, which he used to grow Nilsons, and then he's going to maybe, or whichever order, Rajiv ji, you feel free to talk about. So welcome you to this session, Rajiv ji. We truly appreciate your taking out the time and joining us today. Rajiv ji keeps a very busy schedule, and it has taken me a year to get him back. His last session with Mindful Living Community, which features among the top 20 videos of on our YouTube channel, is a very popular video, and we will share the link of the YouTube channel in the chat. You can go and check out his previous session there. And I have been talking to him for the last 1 year to try and get him, and finally he agreed to come today. So we are blessed to have you with us, Rajiv ji, today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajiv ji. And friends, some of you are joining our session for the first time. If you're joining a mindful living session for the first time, please type FT in the chat box. Please type FT in the chat box if you're joining our session for the first time. Yes, Nikhil, we will share the mobile numbers towards the end, and we will also send you an email which has all the details. If any one of you is joining the session for the first time, please type FT in the chat box. Okay, thank you, Sunil ji. For the benefit of those who are joining our session for the first time, I'll take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Ashish Kumar, and I'm the founder of Mindful Living Community. I'm a certified mindfulness meditation teacher and a corporate professional. I started this community in April 2020 when the first lockdown happened, and few of my friends reached out to me and requested me to conduct sessions for them to help them deal with the stress and anxiety that the first lockdown was causing. one thing, so I did a session for them over a weekend, one thing led to the other, and now we have grown to be a vibrant community of over 3,000 people who connect regularly to learn and practice mindfulness and share with the community members. This community you can only join if somebody has invited you. We don't advertise this community. You will never ever see an ad of ours, and we will be sharing the link of the to join the WhatsApp group in the community. So please, I would, with an open heart, welcome you to join the community and benefit by improving your quality of thinking and your quality of life. Rajiv ji is also a member of our community, and that is the advantage. You know, this is a group of such distinguished professionals who share with each other the work that they are doing, and collectively we raise the level of consciousness for each one of us. So on that note, I'll now invite Rajiv ji to take the session forward. Welcome everybody, and welcome Rajiv ji once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ashish ji, for your very kind words. And I again extend a very warm welcome to all the beautiful people of this mindful living community. I am blessed that I have a chance to address you all today about use of psychology in our personal and professional life. See, I have worked in senior positions for 4 different corporates, including 2 very big multinationals. And I see how much the focus is on what the company wants, what I want, rather than what others want, and how to join the two in a way which creates a triple win situation. Today, there will be no theory. We will go through all the experiments and personal experiences that I have gone through in life, which has given huge dividends, both in my personal and professional life. And everybody who is in this session, I want you to please pay attention to the nuances where you can get the principle behind it and change the way we work with people. Because managing is only 2 things: people and common sense. And if these 2 things combined with use of psychology, there is nothing more miraculous than that. Nobody is interested in what I want. Nobody is interested in what you want. Everybody wants to see what is in it for them. And that's where I'm surprised that in a huge canvas of more than 5,000 companies in the FMCG sector, Nilsons was the first one to use technology very effectively. So let me start with the story where I worked as CEO and director for 18 years. The company, to begin with, had a total annual turnover of 8 crores per annum. And it had the ambition, and it was a 42-year-old company already. It was not a startup, 42-year-old company. And it had the ambition to become an annual turnover of 35 crore company in next 33 years. And how that company, in a span of 15 years, became from 8 crore to 450 crore. From a loss-making company, the profits, soared sky high, and all the people benefited. Many millionaires were created amongst the employees, and the shareholder value went up tremendously. See, for any FMCG company, especially a food company like the one I was working for, quality is very important. Again, people are involved in taking care of quality, and sales is very important, sales and marketing. So nobody grows up in life कि एक दिन बड़े होकर के हम निलॉन्स या मदर रेसिपी में जाकर के सेल्समैन बनेंगे दुकान दुकान धक्के खाएंगे, दुकानदार की भी बात सुनेंगे, एंड ऑल्सो माई एरिया मैनेजर एंड द हेड ऑफिस पीपल विल टेल मी कि तुम्हारा टारगेट पूरा नहीं हुआ, वॉट एवर इट इज. And this was going on for the last 42 years. These people don't work in front of you, don't work in front of your eyes. So how to motivate them in a way where they take charge of what the company wants and what they themselves want. So for some time, 3 months after joining the company, I analyzed what is lacking in their lives. उनके जीवन में क्या कमी है, उनको क्या देने से एक सुपर मोटिवेशन आएगा. Then I found उनके लाइफ में सबसे बड़ी कमी जो है इज्जत की है, प्रेस्टीज. Nobody respects them, even their family members. Father will say, शर्मा जी के बेटे को देखो, आज डॉक्टर है, वो फलाना IAS है, तुम क्या की? Wife will say, 6 साल से कह रहे हो ये मंगलसूत्र टूटा हुआ है, तुम इसको ठीक करा कर दूसरा भी बनवा नहीं सकते. Then I thought of a strategy where I say these people need ijjat, prestige, and how to give it to them, which is the most difficult thing to do. मनी आप दे सकते हो, इंसेंटिव आप दे सकते हो, उसमें भी कंपनियां बहुत माइजरली काम करती है. हाँ, इतना आप कर लो तो इतना मिल जाएगा. लोगों की एनुअल सैलरी का 10 से 20% इंसेंटिव आ पाता है सेल्स में. So I started conducting all India meetings. Let's say I'm in the Indore, conducting meeting for the Malwa region of Nilsons soldiers, Nilsons army. I started calling them. I said, Nilsons ने एक नया लक्ष्य लिया है कि देश के लिए हम ज्यादा एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट करेंगे. We'll create more employment for the country. And you are the one who is going to create it. The more you sell, the more people we will be able to keep in the factories, in the services, in the field. And more distributors we will need who will also earn their livelihood. And we told them that this is their salary and they have a chance to quadruple it. Suppose any of you whose salary is, let's say, 20 lakh rupees per annum. And if you are given a chance कि आपकी salary 80 lakh rupees हो जाएगी 4 times, who will not jump at it? So I created a table. For us, beyond a point, the entire gross margin falls into the bottom line. So your target is this. For doing that target, you only get salary and 10% incentive. And if you do this, a certain percentage of that extra sales will belong to you. And the table extended up to 4 times salary of everyone. People were very delighted. Then personally, I wrote a letter to each and every family. If there is a father, to the father. If there is a wife, to the wife. That your son or your husband is part of a nationwide drive to create more employment for the country and increase your family income by 4 times. So please, if your husband or son comes late, please cooperate. And I followed up with quarterly letters that your son or husband has been able to create 6 new jobs. And he is a hero for our company. He is a hero for the nation. So we acknowledged each and every small contribution made towards the campaign taken by Nilsons. The attitude of the family changed. The father who used to, not even welcome the son when he comes back from work. Arey beta aao, pani pi. Wife will say, अरे हमारा घर का सपना तो इस बार पूरा हो जाएगा, आप जाओ ना 10 दुकानें और 10 होलसेलर के यहाँ और भी माल दे के आओ. See, all these people used to leave the field at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. At those times when there were no tools to monitor them, even if you monitor them today with the technological tools, they know how to hoodwink you. वहां पे लोग 10 बजे रात तक काम कर. And what happened in first year? From 8 crore, we reached 23.5. Is that a miracle or not? Almost 3 times. If we had done 50 lakh more, we would be 3 times. And the company grew for the next 10 years at a CAGR of almost 50%. That was 7 times the market growth rate. If the market was growing at X percent, 5%, companies grew 35, 40%. What does that mean? We were taking market share from others. We were becoming leaders in many categories. And that, I think, and when the year ended with one check, we handed over anywhere between 72,000 to 5 lakh rupees per person. And 33% of our people were able to quadruple their income. Some had tripled, some had doubled. So after the first year, people believed every word I started to say. इसने ये कहा था 4 गुना सैलरी होगी, काम करने वालों की हो गई. इसने कहा था हमारी इज्जत बढ़ेगी, हमारे को अपने घर से लेकर अपने डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर भी बहुत इज्जत करने लगे. So I work for ITC, it's also an FMCG company. I work for Hindustan Unilever, that's also an FMCG company. They never use this. They said, ये आपका target है and company wants you to achieve this target. And when I left it all, when I was close to 50, both me and my wife had decided that once I am close to 60, I'll not work for money, I'll not work for myself. और जब 6-7 साल मेरे नौकरी को और बाकी थे, at the peak of my career, I left and started a much richer contribution in terms of giving a permanent gift to the nation and society for the orphan and street girls and for the most helpless destitutes of the country. Because whatever you do for such people, at whatever stage you are, that comes back multiplied to you. And as people say, the rest is history. We kept on growing, and from a company of no significance, we became market leader in pickles, market leader in roasted vermicelli, market leader in tutti frutti, and market leaders in ginger garlic paste, even leaving behind Dabur and Smith & Jones, which used to advertise heavily. And what happens in the process is that the company trusts you so much that you start working and operating as the owner. The owner of the company leaves everything to you. आपको जो करना है करिए. And that gives you tremendous job satisfaction. So in my professional life, I have never asked, मुझे ये चाहिए. I have followed 3 principles. Help the company what the company wants. Make your boss's life easier. And help your colleagues whenever they feel stuck. Only 3 principles. And if you want your salary to grow 3 to 4 times every 3 years, just take care of these 3 principles. These are very, very simple, but how often do we do it? We say, company se ye chahiye. This is our right. This is our demand. This is what the HR policy says. So this is what we need. But you know what? You have to throw the rule book away if you want to become and operate as the owner of the company. No owner in the world, whether it is Narayan Murthy, at 3 o'clock in the night he used to lungi पहन करके software coding कर रहे होते, or Dhirubhai Ambani. So if you work according to the rule book, you will get what other people get. Throw the rule book and see to it that you are helping the company, helping your boss, and helping your colleagues. आपको क्या चाहिए उसको भूल ही जाइए. I don't want anything in life. And then things will follow you with such great speed, you won't believe it. I'll give you another example. For a company, Hong Kong-based company, I worked in Jakarta and USA for that company. First, because of my instinctual nature, I analyzed what the company needs. The company was very afraid of air shipment of garments. It was a big garment company. If the style or the garment, which is, let's say the order is 3 million pieces, it has to reach USA or Canada in time. Otherwise, it's of no use. A winter garment has to reach when the winter sales start. If it reaches 6 weeks late, it's of no use. So if you are delayed in production or there are hundreds of unique items that are needed to finish that garment, if you are late, you have to do air shipment rather than sea shipment, which is much cheaper and takes 35-40 days. Air shipment takes 2 days. If one air shipment happens of a big order, it can wipe out the profit of entire company for the year, or almost. Then I said, let's join the pieces. Why a shipment is delayed and wherein all the people who are responsible can be helped. So that was a very, very big thing. I set up a monitoring system, a flow chart, which was monitored every evening. So it did the miracle of fulfilling what the company needed, which was not being done for the last 25 years of the life of the company. And in that process, a lot of colleagues were helped how to do their job properly. Because of my Hindustani Unilever training, I was able to do that. And make your boss's life easier. My boss was a Sindhi from Hong Kong, Mr. Mohan Mirpuri. What did I do to make his life easier? His life used to be hellish, looking after what are the delays happening, isko kaise time pe pura karna hai, kya karna hai. I illegally, without telling him, illegally I'm using in a positive sense, I illegally took over that job. मोलिना फैक्ट्री में अगर ये पॉलीफिल जैकेट लेट हो रहा है, जो भारी गारमेंट है, how to adjust the production schedule, how to adjust the, go after the suppliers if the raw material has not reached. And sometimes I've been standing in the factory 24 hours as a stretch and motivating and serving the workers to do that needful 24 hours at a stretch and requesting them, begging them for the sake of the company and taking care of their families. So there were many occasions. And one other thing Mohan Mirpuri wanted, that everybody should report in time, which is 7:30 in the morning to the office. And nobody used to report. That also, I helped him through a very, very innovative kind of a approach where even his number 2 person finance director started coming on time, whom nobody would dare say that aapko time pe aana hai. So Mohan Mirpuri ji used to tell me, Rajiv, तुमने तो मेरे को बेरोजगार बना दिया, unemployed बना दिया. He used to say it in a positive way. मैं कुछ समाज को टाइम दे सकता हूँ, परिवार को टाइम दे सकता हूँ. Lo and behold, you never have to ask anything. Promotion after promotion, increment after increment, 60% increment also followed. Because the people you have helped, they are batting for you. सब 25 साल में मैंने तो ऐसा आदमी देखा नहीं जो कंपनी को ज्वाइन किया. So these 3 principles in your professional life make your boss's life easier, What are his pain points? Help the company in its main objectives, whether it is your job description or not. Third, help your colleagues without any expectation, whenever you can and whenever they need. Of course, आपको अपना जॉब तो करना ही, और उसी के अंदर ये तीनों आ जाते हैं. I'll give you another example. I am in social service. Ashish ji, who is conducting the program today through his Mindful Living organization, he also knows Earth Saviors Foundation in Gurgaon, who do a similar work like Majagar Foundation. Of course, Majagar will take care of orphan girls and street girls also, which is not their mandate. The founder of that organization, Mr. Ravi Kalra, he is no more now. He told his wife, "This is what I want. मुझे समाज की सेवा करनी है. जो लोग भीख तक नहीं मांग सकते, सड़कों पे कीड़े पड़े हैं, उनको ला करके सेवा करनी है." He said, "What I want." उनको चाहिए. What his wife did? मेरे को ये सब करना ही नहीं. बच्चों को लेके जर्मनी चली गई. परिवार टूट गया. This is where we make a mistake. We say, मुझे ये चाहिए. As a boss or as a spouse or as a husband, as a father, we say, मुझे ये चाहिए. His wife was not interested in what Ravi Kalra wants. And how did I manage with my wife? I said, would you like that lakhs of people you serve, who are the most marginalized people, who are from the bottom of the suffering humanity, I worked it over a period of time. Would you like to become mother to thousands of children? Would you want that the society and nation looks up to you to do something useful and you leave a legacy which will work for the society and nation and many other things? Would you want? That was precisely what I wanted. But did I say I want that? No, never. I said, would you want? Meenakshi, would you want this in your life? So over a period of time, when I awakened her to the possibilities of dedicating her life and life savings, sometimes, wives can be, यार तुम जब रिटायर हो गए वर्ल्ड टूर पे जाएंगे, कुछ आराम करेंगे, लाइफ में टाइम तो तुमने कभी दिया नहीं. She came to an extent on her own, let us dedicate our life. It was not my decision, my wife's decision. Let us dedicate our life, an entire amount, after setting aside a little bit for our retirement, to this social service. So look at the difference. I have visited, and Ashish ji has also visited Earth Saviors Foundation. We have visited many ashrams in the country to learn what to do and what not to do. What not to do is also important. Learning. दूसरे आश्रम की तरह हमारा आश्रम गंदा नहीं होना चाहिए, स्मेल नहीं होना चाहिए, मक्खियां नहीं भिन भिनानी चाहिए, टॉयलेट गंदे नहीं होने चाहिए. उसके लिए क्या करना हो? जहां पे लोग डायपर में बेड रिडन है, स्मेल का अवॉइड करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है. बट यू कैन फाइंड इट. Another story I would like to share for people who are in the starting stage of their career or junior in their career, where they do not have much formal power. I was management trainee way back in 1986 with Hindustan Unilever, which used to be and still is the most coveted job. Any IM graduate or IIT graduate or chartered accountant will look forward. In my accounts stint of 8 weeks, I was given Ghaziabad factory, which used to make dalda. Of course, dalda business is no longer owned by Hindustan Lever now. They have sold it to Banji. Dalda and other edible oils. It's a very, very notorious factory in terms of industrial relations. Very strong union. Their फैक्ट्री कमर्शियल मैनेजर मिस्टर सुभाष भंडारी वॉज देयर, और अकाउंट्स का हमारा जो पीरियड होता था जनवरी टू दिसंबर कैलेंडर ईयर। उनको तो बकरा मिल गया, मुर्गा मिल गया कि ये मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनी आ गया, अब इस पर बोझ ला दो। What was the record of, in pre-computerization days, or very small packages that were used of no use? Ghaziabad factory, among the 38 units of Hindustan Lever, used to be the last to submit the unit accounts for consolidation at the head office level and closing the accounts. 38 units mein last, 38. And for the sake of just a reference, there were 32 people in the accounts department, headed by Mr. Mishra, who was the head clerk, and a top union leader. Subhash Bhandari told me, Rajiv, tumko accounts close karna, you have to coordinate with this guy. He gave me some operating process, ye karna hai. The list, how I need to proceed. I went to this guy, Mishra ji. I said, मिश्रा जी, ये अकाउंट्स क्लोजिंग करना है, तो आप बताइए कैसे हैं। हम इस बार 38 नंबर नहीं आए, कुछ हम अर्ली सबमिट करें और हमारा नाम जो है लास्ट आने से हट जाए। आई ओपन द फाइल of standard operating process for closing the accounts. He took the file from me and threw it away. आपके जैसे बहुत लोग आते हैं और जाते हैं, ज्यादा फुटानी मत झाड़ो हमारे सामने, हमारे को कोई फॉर्मल अथॉरिटी है नहीं। I had no choice but to pick up the file and come back to my small seat which was assigned to me. That afternoon for lunch, I did not go to the executive canteen which I was entitled to. I went to the staff canteen, और जहां मिश्रा जी बैठते हैं, same table I occupied. And I was meeting him not for work, so he was nice to me. मैं बोला, मिश्रा जी क्या आपके परिवार में कौन कौन है, क्या है, कितने साल से यहाँ पे हैं? So he replied to all that. फिर आपका then he told me in the process that he had a son called Deepak, who is in engineering, and he expects a bright career for him, not like him to slog all his life as a clerk. बहुत अच्छी बात है. So in this normal kind of a discussion, how do you pick up a psychological point which will help you achieve the objective? He is not interested कि राजीव अग्रवाल मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनिंग का अचीवमेंट होगा अगर अकाउंट जल्दी चले गए तो. ही इज नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन दैट. एक दो दिन रुक करके मैं उनके पास गया व्हेन ही वाज अलोन. थोड़ा शाम का वक्त था, एंड आई मिक्स माय मैसेज लाइक दिस. मिश्रा जी, मैं बहुत गरीब घर से, शायद आप अपने आप को जितना गरीब मानते हैं उससे भी बहुत ज्यादा. बहुत अरमान से मैंने ज्वाइन किया हिंदुस्तान यूनिलीवर, और आपने कहा ना आपका दीपक, आपका बेटा पढ़ता है एंड यू वांट अ ब्राइट फ्यूचर फॉर हिम. लुक एट मी, आई एम योर दीपक. मैं आपका बेटा दीपक हूं. आज आपने मुझे जो हेल्प करी, पूरी सृष्टि, पूरी प्रकृति आपके बेटे को एक दिन हेल्प करेगी टू बिकम सक्सेसफुल. और आपके बेटे को भी हेल्प इसी तरह लगेगी जिस तरह की हेल्प मुझे आपसे चाहिए. A ton of bricks fell on that person. ये कह रहा है मैं उसका बेटा हूं, मैं दीपक हूं, मैं उसकी तरह गरीब हूं. उसको तो आदत थी कि ये बड़े बड़े परिवार से आते हैं, स्नॉबिश लोग जो मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनी होते हैं, ये कहाँ से एकदम इतना सिंपल और एक तरह से मेरे सामने ये मेरी हेल्प मांग रहा है। उसका कॉलर छोड़ा हो जाता है जब आप किसी से हेल्प मांगते हो। मैं बोला मुझे हेल्प करेंगे तो आपके बेटे को हेल्प होगी, और ये आप ध्यान रखिएगा, आज आपने हेल्प की वैसी ही हेल्प आपके बेटे को लगेगी। He did not say anything. 1 hour later, he called all 32 people who were related to accounts for a meeting, and he called me also. And he declared in that meeting, इस बार गाजियाबाद फैक्ट्री फर्स्ट होगी, पूरे इंडिया में अकाउंट सबमिशन और कंप्लीशन गाजियाबाद का पहला होगा, और इसके लिए किसी को अगर फैक्ट्री में सोना पड़े, ऑफिस में सोना पड़े तो सोना पड़ेगा। He was a respected person, senior union leader. And the days followed where people slept in the office, spent their own money to buy food, buy dinner. और हम फर्स्ट तो नहीं हुए। 38 से सेकंड हुआ गाजियाबाद यूनिट, सेकंड। मेरे से पहले कितने मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनी आए और गए, किसी ने वो ताला खोल नहीं पाए कि वो 38 का 37 भी हो जाए, क्योंकि हर साल मेजर यूनिट्स को एक मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनिंग दे दिया जाता था। अगर इस तरह की एनालिसिस नहीं करता, what does he want? The entire focus was not on what Rajheev Agarwal wants for his success as a management trainee. The focus was not on what the company wants in terms of deadline. The focus was on the person, on the person's family, on his son, Deepak. He was able to relate. अरे यार, मेरा बेटा जब शुरू करेगा तो उसको भी तो हेल्प की जरूरत होगी, and how to evoke that emotion. I did it with my wife for a good cause, and you always will succeed when the cause and once the intention was to help Ghaziabad factory. Intention was to do my job as an administrator. Intention was to increase the profile and name of Ghaziabad factory. So it worked. When you work for a malicious intent, sometimes it might succeed, but that's not what we are together today for. So this person was a changed person after that. Subhash Bhandari told me 2 years later. That person changed for the rest of his life. So whether it is Mohan Mir Puri, where the focus was on what he wants, what his company wants, or the Nilsons Miraculous Growth, where, in Nilsons, whoever succeeded when we didn't have money, we used to give cars. The 3 top achievers को, area managers को हम कार देंगे. One person, Arun Shukla, who was in charge, who is now in charge of UP, he was a pilot salesman at that time. So amongst the 3 managers and 3 frontline, जो 6 कारें थी, 1 कार उसको मिली. He said, मेरे को कार मत दीजिए, कार का जो 3 लाख रुपया बन रहा है वो मुझे दे दीजिए, मुझे एक जमीन लेनी है. And in a outer corner of Lucknow, he bought a small land. And about, I would say, 6 months ago, he called me, साहब, वो जमीन की भाव करोड़ों में हो गया है और मैंने एक छोटा सा घर बना लिया है. Now I am a bungalow owner in Lucknow. And it all because you gave me this. I said, I have not given you anything. You earned it. It was your right. Please do not give me credit for all the मेहनत that you have done. ये एक एग्जाम्पल है. ऐसे सैकड़ों लोगों की लाइफ चेंज हुई. किसी का मकान बन गया, किसी के बेटी की अच्छे से शादी हो गई, किसी के रिटायरमेंट का पैसा जमा हो गया. लेकिन मैं मारवाड़ी हूं जी. मैंने कैलकुलेशन में क्या किया, उनका तो भला हो गया. जो कंपनी को एक्स्ट्रा उसने दिया उसका 10 से 25% मैंने दिया, बाकी 75 to 90% किसके पास रहा? एक्स्ट्रा कंट्रीब्यूशन, एक्स्ट्रा प्रॉफिट कंपनी के पास. That was my job as a CEO, to increase shareholder value or the profit of the company. So आप जब देते हो ना एज अ कंपनी, कंजूसी मत करो यार, जितना वो एक्स्ट्रा देगा उसका कुछ भाग उसको दे दो, some portion of that. So this is something worth pondering over in any field. वाइफ का जो मैंने एग्जाम्पल, इसी तरह आप अपने बच्चे से जो चाहते हो, डोंट से यू वांट इट एज अ पेरेंट. We told our elder daughter, Garima, you want a dog very badly? हाँ, डॉग मिलेगा. आज से 2 साल बाद हम डॉग लाएं तो कैसा रहेगा? नहीं, अभी लाओ तो अच्छा है ना, 2 साल बाद नहीं. और वो डॉग तक जाने का रास्ता ऐसा है कि आप 2 साल तक you become a girl in your school who is liked, whose feedback is good. हम बोले फर्स्ट आना, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. डू योर होमवर्क प्रॉपरली, जो लेजिटिमेट चीजें बोली जाती है उसको आप पूरा करें 2 साल तक. तो 2 साल बाद उनको डॉग मिल गया. तो मैंने देखा अपने लाइफ में मैंने फोकस ही नहीं किया मुझे क्या चाहिए. मैं थोड़ा गरीब परिवार से था, बहुत गरीब परिवार में पैदा हुआ. वैसे मेरी मारवाड़ी फैमिली ठीक थी, बट माय फादर वाज अ फ्रीडम फाइटर. ही यूज्ड टू मेक बॉम्ब्स and hurl those bombs on those police stations where any Englishman was in charge. My grandfather never used to like it. He said, we are businessmen, व्यापारी आदमी है, शोभा नहीं देता. 72 लोगों की ज्वाइंट फैमिली थी, पुलिस आती है घर में, कोने कोने में तुमको ढूंढने के लिए घुसती है, घर में बहू बेटियां हैं, ये नहीं चलेगा, तुम छोड़ो ये सब. एंड माय फादर सेड, नहीं मैं तो नहीं छोड़ने वाला. तो उन्होंने, दादाजी ने उनको घर से निकाल दिया. ज्यादा पढ़े लिखे नहीं थे, एक अकाउंटेंट की नौकरी कर ली उन्होंने, 3 साल जेल में भी रहे, अंग्रेजों ने जेल में डाला. तो एक पेट्रोल पंप में अकाउंटेंट की नौकरी की और सैलरी बहुत कम थी. तो हम लोग बहुत गरीब थे बचपन में. एक मैं अपनी फैमिली की 2 छोटी सी 1-1 मिनट की कहानी बोलूंगा, बिकॉज टुडे आई सेड देयर इज नो थ्योरी, ऑल पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंसेस और एक्सपेरिमेंट्स. Of course, our family is from Rajasthan, and we migrated to Bihar 200 years back. Now it's the 8th generation, I think. Warsliganj is a very small town in Gaya district at that time, now in Nawada district, where our forefathers opened a cloth shop, कपड़े की दुकान. आज हम रेडीमेड कपड़ा लेते हैं, पहले लोग कपड़ा फाड़ करके उसको सिलवाते थे टेलर से, वो बहुत कम हो गया आजकल. तो गांव में कैसे कपड़ा बिक्री होता था? जब 100, वो ब्लॉक लेवल टाउन था, 100 villages around that block, the people, the farmers will come and buy the cloth जब उनके बच्चे की या बच्ची की शादी हो. और वहां पे एक लोकल कस्टम है, शादी के बाद तुरंत बेटी विदा नहीं होती है, 3 साल 4 साल बाद गौना होता है या रसबंदी होती है, उस समय बेटी विदा होती है, क्योंकि उनकी एज छोटी रहती है जब शादी होती है. 3-4 साल बाद जब विदा होती है तब फिर कपड़ा खरीदा जाता है. तो किसान 100 गांवों के आकर कपड़ा खरीदते थे, उनके नाम में लिख दिया जाता था, और जब फसल बिक्री होती थी तो किसान आके पैसा दे देता. दिस वॉज द मोडस ऑपरेंडी. None of us are that old to remember that in 1933, 34 and 1935 भयंकर अकाल पड़ा था बंगाल, बिहार एंड पार्ट ऑफ ओडिशा में. 3 साल तक बारिश नहीं हुई. अकाल किसको कहते हैं? वो हम थोड़ा बहुत लगान फिल्म के थ्रू जानते हैं। तो 3 साल जब बारिश नहीं हुई, किसान की फसल नहीं हुई, पैसा नहीं आया, कपड़ा गया, वी बिकेम बैंकरप्ट। दुकान में थोड़ा बहुत कपड़ा था और महाजन, जिसको होलसेलर बोलते हैं, महाजनों का बहुत पैसा बाकी हो गया। अब सब पैसा देना पड़े तो हम बैंकरप्ट ही। तो मेरे दादाजी के पिताजी शिवपाल राय जी ने अपने बेटे नथमल जी, मेरे दादाजी को बोला, सब महाजनों को चिट्ठी लिख दो, इस तारीख को आ जाएं अपना हिसाब करने के लिए, फ्रॉम पटना एंड गया। माय दादाजी नथमल जी सेड कि बाबूजी पैसे नहीं है, किसको हम चिट्ठी लिखते हैं, क्यों? उन्होंने कहा चुपचाप चिट्ठी लिखो, मैंने जो कहा। उस समय का था, ज्यादा आर्ग्यू किए बिना मेरे दादाजी मान गए, उन्होंने चिट्ठी लिख दी। एक तरफ चिट्ठी पोस्ट बॉक्स में डली और दूसरी तरफ उन्होंने परिवार में जितनी लेडीज थी सबका गहना ले लिया, एंड ही सोल्ड इट। ठीक ठाक परिवार था, मारवाड़ी परिवार, तो जो सोने चांदी के सिक्के थे वो भी ले लिए। घर में बड़े बड़े बर्तन थे 72 लोगों का खाना बनाने के लिए, वो बेच दिए। कुछ सुनता हूं मैं अपने पिताजी, मेरे पिताजी जब ये कहानी सुनाते हैं तो रोने लग जाते हैं। ना ऑफ कोर्स माय फादर इज आल्सो नो मोर। और सुना है मैंने कि मट्टी की हांडी आ गई, और जिस दिन मीटिंग थी सबका पैसा चुकाना था, शिवपाल राय जी, फादर ऑफ माय ग्रैंडफादर, ही सेड, आशीष जी आपका इतना पैसा बाकी है, ये लीजिए पैसा थोड़ा, ये सोने चांदी के इतने सिक्के, इसकी वैल्यू इतनी हुई, और ये थोड़ा कपड़ा ले लीजिए जो दुकान में है, आपका हिसाब क्लियर। पोद्दार जी आपका इतना है। सबका हिसाब उन्होंने, नीलोफर जी का, उर्मी जी का, निखिल जी का, विदुर जी का, प्रगति जी का, सुनील जी का, मनोज जी का, सबका हिसाब हो गया। मैं आपका नाम बोल रहा हूं, लेकिन उस समय जो होलसेलर थे उनका नाम, और कुछ बचा नहीं। एक व्यापारी, वन ट्रेडर, ही कट सम रेड क्लॉथ एंड वहां पे लक्ष्मी गणेश जी की मूर्ति थी, उस पर उसने चढ़ा दी, बोला इस ईमानदार व्यापारी की भगवान रक्षा करे। देन ही टर्न्ड अराउंड एंड सेड, अगर इस व्यापारी को हमने और उधार दिया तो हमारा पैसा सेफ है कि नहीं है? एवरीबडी सेड इन द रूम, यस सेफ है इन द शो। कल तुम कितना भेज रहे हो? दैट ट्रेडर, महाजन, होलसेलर नोटेड एवरीवन, तुम इतना भेजो, तुम इतना भेजो, और जाते ही भेजो। इन 3-4 days on bullock carts the material came, दुकान फिर से भर गई। बारिश हुई, 99% किसान ऑनेस्ट थे, उन्होंने धीरे धीरे करके पैसा दे दिया और हमारे परिवार को खरोच तक दी। एंड दिस इज ऑनेस्टी which I would urge that every one of us should do this in life. When my father joined as an accountant, this is the second small story. In 1962, there was a war with China, 1965, war with Pakistan. In those periods, based on the policy of he was handling 2-3 petrol pumps, accounts and money. And the owners owned 35 petrol pumps, and there were other, I would say, manager-like people or accountant-like people who used to do that. उस समय ब्लैक में पेट्रोल डीजल बिकता था because of shortage. And kerosene was not colored, so it could be mixed with diesel and petrol. तो ये जो मिलावट का पैसा है, ब्लैक का पैसा है, वो बोरियों में भर के एम्बेसडर कार की डिक्की में हेड ऑफिस जाता था, which was used to be in Daniganj in West Bengal. My father used to look after those petrol pumps in Asansol and Durgapur. उनके पैसे गिने नहीं जाते थे, शंकर बाबू का गिना हुआ है। Other person equivalent to him who was managing 3-4 petrol pumps, Dhoop Singh ji from Haryana, he used to say, शंकर बाबू अपने लिए नहीं तो अपने बच्चों के लिए इसमें से थोड़ा सा उठा लो, सेठ को क्या पता चलने वाला। कि ब्लैक के कितने पैसे आए थे या मिलावट के कितने पैसे आए थे, समुद्र है, उठा लो इसमें से थोड़ा। माय फादर रिप्लाइड, जिस दिन अपने बच्चों का पालन पोषण नहीं कर सकूंगा ना, हम सामूहिक आत्महत्या कर लेंगे, लेकिन मैं नथमल का बेटा हूं, शिवपाल राय का पोता हूं, 1 रुपया बेईमानी नहीं कर सकता। He was honest. So all 6 of us, 5 brothers and 1 sister, we are so happy in life. We all are achievers. Somebody is running a 4,000 logo ka college. My sister is an industrialist in Jaipur with a big empire which is run by her husband. तो ये जो बेईमानी से 1 रुपया भी आता है हमारे पास, वो कितना अपने साथ लेके जाता है। और ईमानदारी हम बरते तो पैसा हमारे पीछे भागता है। तो apart from those psychological principles which I demonstrated through story of Nilsons, through story of my garment, or my wife's story, or Mishra Ji's story, or there are so many n number of stories I can say, where the focus never was on what, as the boss of the company, I never used to tell people what I want from as the top dog of Nilsons. This is what perhaps you want. And this is the roadmap to achieve what you want. And let's walk on that roadmap. Are you ready? Most of the time people respond with a resounding yes. वो आपसे फूड मांगना भूल जाएंगे, दोपहर का खाना खाना भूल जाएंगे, if you align their goals with yours. So it's an alignment, psychological alignment, where the entire focus is on what others want. I can go on and on. There I have been a couple of seminars or webinars I have done where I have spoken for 4 hours, but I think we are 1 hour into this. I better leave the rest of the time for question and answers, where any doubts, any kind of further clarification I'm able to address. Is that okay, Ashish ji?
Sure, Rajiv ji. What amazing and inspiring, heart-touching stories. They're truly amazing. And I really get goosebumps thinking about the time, you mentioned of the famine, and the decision your great-grandfather took. I think this is, these are stories one, it moves, it really moves. It takes a lot of courage. So, friends, as Rajiv ji suggested, we will open up the session for question and answers and interaction. But before that, I'll request you for your feedback. Just fill out this simple form, which will take you 30 seconds, and then we will open up the session to question answers. And once you have filled out the feedback form, please type FD in the chat box. Feedback done. Just a minute. Okay, I think it will take some time for us to share the feedback form. The session is open for Q&A. You can use the reactions button to raise your hand, and we will hear your questions one by one. Even if you have no question, you can comment in the chat box, or you can raise your hand and share with us what resonated with you the most. And while you are thinking of your questions, there is one question I would like to ask Rajiv ji, and then maybe we'll hear from participants. You mentioned about the incentive plan that you designed for the, for your salespeople, going up to 4x of the salary. And you also mentioned that most of the other people have pay salary to the salespeople. They are miserly, and they have incentive system which will be 10 to 20%, not even 1x. You went up to 4x. How did your management just buy into the idea, or did you have to do a lot of convincing, or you used your chartered accountancy knowledge to persuade that this is good profit for the business? How did you go about it? If you can share some of your thoughts on that.
Ashish ji, thank you for that question. I use simple arithmetic to convince that if this person does this, the company has a gross margin of 43%. And after your fixed costs are met, the entire 43% falls to your bottom line. So on this extra sale of 10 lakh rupees, we will be getting a gross margin of 4,30,000 rupees based on 43% principal. So let us share 1 lakh rupees, and it is conditional on him giving that extra sale. So first he has to contribute additional profit of 4,30,000, and then he gets 1 lakh, which is less than 25%.
Yeah, yeah.
So, my accounting knowledge and simple logic convinced the MD. Again, I was lucky. I joined this company based on the condition that I will run the company and my word will be final, not the owner's word will be final.
Interesting.
So I think any boss will be okay with that. Yeah. That extra earning, only 10 to 25% you are sharing, rest is coming to us. Especially in a organization where I was the CEO, it was easier for me. Even I have agreed to many proposals which have come from lower down, where I could see the interest is aligned for the company and the person, and I've said yes to it. So people who are not yet CEOs, they can also use this principle by giving a clearly thought out and documented proposal to their seniors.
Sure. Thank you for sharing that, Rajiv ji. Nilofer, we will just take a question in a bit. We have shared the feedback form in the chat. Please fill that out and share your feedback. It will take you less than 30 seconds and type FD once you have filled out the feedback form. Rajiv, I'd just like to pursue that thought a little further. It sounds very commonsensical to have a incentive scheme like this where you're sharing 25% of the incremental gross profit. Then why is it not prevalent wisdom? Why are other companies not able to put this practice? Or जो आपने कहा इज्जत देने की बात, that is also very intuitive कि आप अपने sales के लोगों का ध्यान रखोगे तो वो अच्छा business करेंगे. So what are some of the challenges other people face in implementing this wisdom?
Human nature. Habit, training, not thinking out of the box. There are many reasons. After telling the story and discussing it for 1 hour, it seems very simple. But nobody thought it that way. कि इनके लाइफ में इज्जत की कमी है, एक सेल्समैन की लाइफ कितनी डिफिकल्ट है, चारों तरफ से उसको मार पड़ती है, डांट पड़ती है. मार मतलब नॉट फिजिकल, बॉस डांटता है, हेड ऑफिस वाला डांटते हैं, सब जगह. ये दुकानदार बोलता है ये जो रिटर्न है एक्सपायरी हो गया, तुम लेके नहीं गए. निलॉन्स में क्या चाहिए आपको? कुछ नहीं चाहिए मुझे, तुम्हारा माल तो बिकता ही नहीं. लाइफ इज हेल. घर में आता है थका हारा तो भी इज्जत नहीं है. इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू थिंक ऑफ अ प्लान कि इस तरह से उसके घर परिवार को इज्जत दी जा सकती है. एंड इट गोज टू द ब्लेसिंग्स ऑफ I think Almighty and my forefathers that I was able to think on that. And Nilsons was the first one. Nilsons की ये स्टोरी मिलने के बाद कुछ लोगों ने पार्शियली इंप्लीमेंट किया है, लेकिन होल हॉग नहीं गए जिस तरह से Nilsons गया आज तक. There are 30 different companies with whom I have shared this. उसमें से 7-8 लोगों ने इसको इंप्लीमेंट किया है, वो भी पार्शियली. उसमें क्या है, हमारे ब्लॉक्स होते हैं, ऐसे ही हम करते आए हैं. जैसे आपने ना, कई के बॉस एग्री नहीं करते, कई को डर लगता है, और इसमें खाली आप ऐसी स्कीम बना देने से नहीं होता है. यू हैव टू क्रिएट एन इकोसिस्टम.
करेक्ट.
सैकड़ों लोगों को आप पर्सनलाइज चिट्ठी लिखते हो, रात के 11 बज जाते हैं साइन करते करते. वो चिट्ठियां जब जाती हैं, और कभी कभी सुपर अचीवर्स के वाइफ से, फादर से आप पर्सनली बात करते हो. इट्स अ होल इकोसिस्टम, नॉट जस्ट the incentive structure. I would say incentive structure से motivate हुए लोग 30%. 70% motivation आया उनके लाइफ में इज्जत आने से. हमें कोई इज्जत नहीं देता था, आज हम कुछ हैं अपने परिवार के लिए भी. और डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को भी मैंने कहा कि निलॉन्स के आदमी को इस तरह से ट्रीट करना बंद करो. आप ऐसे करो, देखो वो आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव है, जितना ज्यादा निलॉन्स का माल बिकेगा उतना ज्यादा आपका कमीशन बनेगा डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर का. तो इट इज 100 डिफरेंट थिंग्स दैट यू हैव टू डू टुगेदर विद दिस. And that's where.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Rajiv ji. And Nilofer,
thank you, sir. Your practical examples were really very valuable. My question is, while these principles of giving, validation and respect to people apply, I would like to know what are your comments on the Gen Z, the current generation, where I keep hearing that, they're least bothered. I mean, money doesn't really attract them, or they are more purpose driven or things like that. So what is your experience? I'd love to hear.
I have worked with Gen Z all my life and still working with them in my foundation. I think the human psychology hasn't changed much. Of course, they are more mobile. I wouldn't say they are not interested in money. They are interested in money. And that is why you will find many of them changing jobs every 2-3 years. In my generation, it used to be a lifelong job. Hindustani Unilever join kar liya to kar liya. Government join to kar liya. The Gen Z also wants respect. See, the kind of work that we do in Majagar Foundation, most of the people we have, and mostly females, because the female ashram, the male ashram, there are males also. They also want respect. They may stay with you for a shorter time, which is a attitudinal change that has happened. But the work we do is very difficult. Taking care of bedridden people, cleaning them up, उनका नहाना धोना, उनका diaper change करना, उनका bed पे खाना खिलाना. It's a difficult job, and that's why not many institutions or NGOs come forward to take care of these destitutes. तो हम क्या करते हैं? वीकली मीटिंग में, इस वीकली मीटिंग में सबको मैं और मेरी वाइफ टीका लगाएंगे, चंदन का टीका या हल्दी और नींबू डाल करके एक रोली बनती है नेचुरल, हम केमिकल चीजें यूज नहीं करते अपने आश्रम में, तो टीका लगा करके सबको हम प्रणाम करेंगे. आपने इस सेवा में इस देश का, इस राष्ट्र का, इस समाज का साथ दिया. मेक इट, एंड इट इज रियलिटी देश की सेवा, लेकिन यू मेक इट साउंड बिग ऑल्सो, देश की सेवा की, आपने समाज की सेवा की, और हम दो छोटे व्यक्तियों को अपने जो हम लक्ष्य लेकर के चले थे उसमें आपने हेल्प की. नेक्स्ट वीक हम थोड़ा फूल रख लेंगे, फूलों की वर्षा करेंगे उनके. बोलते हैं साहब मैंने 7 साल तक, एक मौसी है, मामा आप समझते हैं, जो हॉस्पिटल में इस तरह का काम करते हैं, तो साहब मैंने 7 साल हॉस्पिटल में काम किया, आज तक डांट ही मिली है, और ये जो आप फूल छिड़क रहे हो, रोने लगते लोग, खुशी के आंसू. उसमें Gen Z भी शामिल है. It motivates them, it gives them a sense of purpose. But they change jobs, which is attitudinal change that has happened. In fact, I will say Gen Z needs more money. उसको स्विगी जोमेटो ज्यादा करना है, उसको अमेजोन से ज्यादा पैसे खरीदने. तो हमारे जनरेशन में इतना नहीं था कि बाहर का खाना है. When you eat outside food, it costs you more money. So I think Gen Z also is amenable to these psychological principles, and we are seeing that in our ashram day in and day out, and I've seen that in Nilsons also. And the frequency of attrition lowers when you give them respect. Have I answered your question?
Yes. Thank you so much. Very inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nilofer, for that question. If Nikhil ji has questions, would you like to come and ask your question directly, Nikhil ji? Are you in a position to? Okay, yeah. So,
राजीव जी नमस्कार.
नमस्कार.
सर जी मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है. सी वी आर ऑल्सो रनिंग वन ट्रस्ट wherein we are providing homeopathic medicines. We run some 8 free clinics and we do some village work. Okay. The problem is the people are, I mean, it's very difficult to keep them motivated. So we don't have attrition loss, but we have a punctuality loss. People don't report on time. I mean, we are unable to find the serving souls. I would put it this way. Okay. While you have excelled into this, so can you give me some inputs?
Thank you, Nikhil ji, for the question, and please accept my kindest regards for the wonderful work that you are doing in terms of providing free medicines to the society.
Thank you.
See, what I have done to maintain. Many times I'm out fundraising because we have a very large goal to create ashram for 2,000 destitutes and 2,000 orphan and street girls, for which the first phase of project cost is about 80 crores. So many times I'm in a meeting for fundraising or other kinds of things. So what I have created a group on time selfie. What on time selfie means, whenever a person reports on time or late, he has to click a selfie and put it in the group. And there is a person who analyzes if a person has been late for more than 10 minutes for 3 days in a month, they have to contribute 300 rupees as donation to the ashram. उनकी सैलरी में से 300 रुपया चला जाएगा. 6 दिन लेट हुए 600 रुपया चला जाएगा, और वो किसी को पर्सनल नहीं जाएगा, सेवा के काम में जाएगा. So this has helped us to maintain timeliness, and I would say most of the people now are in time. Nobody wants कि 500-600 रुपया उनको डोनेशन देना पड़ जाए, जबकि उनकी सैलरी anywhere from 15,000 से 50,000 तक है, तो उनको ये पैसा लॉस अच्छा नहीं लगता. एंड मैं उनको हाथ जोड़ करके मीटिंग में बोला हूं कि ये मुझे करना अच्छा नहीं लगता, लेकिन ये जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है कि टाइम पर पंक्चुअलिटी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, डिसिप्लिन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, उसलिए कर रहा हूं. और ये पैसा कोई कंपनी संस्था कोई कंपनी होती तो दिक्कत आती थी. कंपनी में भी मैंने जब किया था जकार्ता में, एक पार्टी फंड क्रिएट किया था कि अब मोहन मीरपुरी भी और डागा जी भी जो फाइनेंस डायरेक्टर है लेट होंगे तो इंडोनेशियन रुपये की वैल्यू कम बहुत है. तो 10,000 रुपया बोलने में आता है, लेकिन उसकी वैल्यू कम होती थी, $3-4 होते थे उस समय. तो 1 मिनट भी आप 7:30 से लेट आओगे तो आपको 10,000 इंडोनेशियन रुपया डालना पड़ता था मेरी सेक्रेटरी के पास, और उससे हम पार्टी करेंगे महीने में. मैंने कंपनी को नहीं जाना है. कंपनी को जाएगा तो लोगों को प्रॉब्लम होगी. तो आप चाहे तो संस्था में जाए पैसा, या उनके ही भलाई के लिए स्टाफ वेलफेयर फंड में जाए, ऐसा कुछ एक सेल्फी ग्रुप बना दीजिए जिसका हमें हेल्प मिला है. और दूसरा है पे और पीपल बेटर देन मार्केट रेट. आप चैरिटी कर रहे हो, आपके एम्प्लॉय चैरिटी नहीं कर रहे. सो जिस मामा मौसी को 10,000 रुपए 8,000 रुपए हॉस्पिटल में मिलते थे प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल में, उनको हम 14,500 15,000 रुपया दे रहे हैं, खाना फ्री रहना फ्री. वहां खाने और रहने के पैसे कटते थे. तो टेक केयर ऑफ एम्प्लॉइज फर्स्ट, एंड उनके अंदर फिर सेवा भाव तब आएगा. देयर हैज बीन अ लॉट ऑफ बुक्स अबाउट एम्प्लॉय फर्स्ट कस्टमर सेकंड. तो मेरे हिसाब से मैं ये 2 सुझाव आपको दे सकता हूं. एक सेल्फी ग्रुप क्रिएट करिए, जहां पे वो अगर लेट आते हैं तो एक आदमी उसमें देखेगा कि उसमें से कुछ पैसे उनको संस्था को दान में देने पड़ जाए या स्टाफ वेलफेयर फंड में जाए. और सेकंड है कि यू पे देम बेटर देन मार्केट रेट, क्योंकि ये सेक्टर में लोग आना नहीं चाहते, लोग कमर्शियल सेक्टर में जाना चाहते हैं. इस सेक्टर का अट्रैक्शन हमें देना पड़ेगा. थोड़ा 1,000-2,000 रुपया बेटर दीजिए, वो पैसा जो है उनकी अच्छी सेवा भाव से वापस आता है. Nikhil ji, I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, he says it has. Thank you for those insights, Rajiv ji.
Thank
He
you.
also,
Thank you.
yes. Nikhil ji, you want to ask your other question about books? Nikhil ji,
Sir, have you written some books?
No, I haven't written any book so far. I was so busy working out for my companies. I'm planning to write a book, but you know, the Majagar work is keeping me very, very busy. I have become more busy than I was as a CEO. I used to get in my life a lot of invitations to join Rotary, Lions Club. I said no, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं. अब मैं ज्वाइन करता हूँ. मैंने लायंस भी ज्वाइन किया, अग्रवाल क्लब भी ज्वाइन किया है, because the interest of the thousands of people whom we want to serve is aligned. Because वहाँ अच्छे लोग हैं जो चैरिटी में हमारा मदद कर सकते हैं. So I'm planning to write a book.
Please.
Thank you for that question. And friends, I'll request you to fill out the feedback form and share your feedback with us. And for the benefit of those who may be watching this recording, I'd like to share with you details where you can contribute to this noble work that Rajiv ji is doing. So allow me to share my screen once again and share with you the details of the bank account. If you're watching this recording or watching this live, you can use this information to contribute to the organization, to the foundation. This will also come to you over an email. So by end of day tomorrow, you will have Manoj will just take a question. Allow me a minute. So you can either take a screenshot or you can wait for the email to come. These are different membership options starting from 100 rupees a month, which is a very nominal contribution of 3 rupees a day or 3.5 rupees a day. You can make a difference in somebody's life, going up to special member, supporter member, and Bhagyavan member at 1,000 rupees. You could also scan this and remit the fees, the contribution, or you could Google Pay or Paytm to this number. And once you have made the contribution, you can share the details over an email with Rajiv ji. Mention your name, address, email, mobile number, PAN number, or WhatsApp it. These are some details which you can use to. Or if you would like to contribute by way of material rather than money, then what is required at the the ashram is cooking oil, sugar, toothpaste, toothbrush, hand wash, washing soap, and Lifebuoy soap. This is also something you can help with. Once again, sharing the details for making the contribution. And now I'll stop sharing this. These details will also come to you over an email. And I'll now invite Manoj ji to share his question or comments.
Before that, I just
yes. Yes, Rajiv ji.
I see lots of activity. He contributes about 1.5 lakh rupees every year, apart from initial donation he and his relatives have made. I see Vikas Jalanji, who has given 9 lakh from his company. Amongst the people there, I can see a lot of active donors to Majagar Foundation already who are there. Yes, Manoj ji, please.
So, Bhaiya, pranam first of all, and greetings for the day for the rest of the team participants. So I'll tell you, I know Rajiv, I say out of affection and love and with a privilege, Rajiv Da, because I know him for 35 years now. The things that he shared, I think he had shared very less. I'll tell you, he had been always a person who used to take care for others. And incidentally, I had the privilege of staying in the hostel where he had stayed. And he left the year hostel like when I joined, and we were always listening stories about him and the work that he used to do at that point of time. So सेवा भाव इनके मन में हमेशा रहा है, and ये हम सुनते आए थे बचपन में. And incidentally, when I moved to Pune, and then when he started this Majagar, I could resonate with what he from the hostel and now. So a lot of courage, I think, that is required. I think the stories that he shared, his life story of turning around things in the companies or wherever he has worked, everywhere there is a story behind that. And I think today the work that he has taken up of Majagar, I had visited there a few times. I don't go often. Bhaiya, permit me, and sorry for that. But that's a great work. I will request those who are in Pune, definitely take out a weekend and please go and visit that. Like if we go to any place with our family, donation or no donation, just go and visit the place. I'll tell you, that's a temple. That's simply a temple where you go and see how humanity is there. And Nikhilji, the question that you asked on the timeliness, I will add up on what I think Rajiv Bhaiya mentioned is the contribution by Rajiv Bhaiya's wife is huge, I'll tell you. She is 24/7 with the ashram, both ashrams. So when I think both of this, I think I'll say ki Rajiv Bhaiya and Bhabi, both how they contribute each minute of their life towards the ashram. People are bound to be motivated and to be on time and give their best. And I think that drives the person. So demonstrating what we want to do or what we want from other people to do, if we are demonstrating, definitely other people will be also there. And I know the story, like the backgrounds where Bhabhi at night also would be monitoring the ashram through the cameras and guiding people, or the people who are there, the mamas and mosi, go and attend this person. So the kind of dedication is there, definitely motivates the other people also to serve better. So thank you, and I request and urge all the people to definitely visit. There are two ashrams, one near airport, 2 kilometers away from our airport. Another is in Hinjewadi. And I think those who are on and around Pune, if they are dropping Pune from Mumbai, take a few half an hour, you reach the ashram. And please do visit that, because that's a experience. I think you will have. Nowhere I will say, yeah, I visit other ashrams or certain things, but this is different, I will say. And thank you here for all the things that you are doing for the society.
Thank you, Manoj, for your encouragement. And you are a regular donor and a visitor, and we are grateful for that. Leading by example. He said, lead by example. And when you lead by example, people follow. And donation, no donation, please. Donation is not what we actively seek. It is up to you. You can visit the ashram, have prasad with us, meet the Prabhujis that we are serving. Donation is the last thing on our mind. If it crosses your mind, if you want to do something, that's welcome. But that's not why you should visit the ashram.
Thank you, Rajiv ji. Thank you, Manoj ji. So, at the request of people who are there, I am sharing these details once again, and you can. So, some people have asked for details of how they can contribute. So, these are the memberships, different amount of contribution that is required. These are the different membership options, monthly, going up to Bhagyavan member. I'm moving a little slowly, so you could take screenshots, or you could scan and make your contribution here. You could also Google Pay or Paytm on this number. And once you have made your contribution, please share your details over WhatsApp or email with Rajiv ji. Sanjay, I hope that helps. Happy to stay on any particular slide longer if you would like me to. Friends, will happy to take any comments. You have been, yes, Naveen ji, you want to share something? Anybody would like to share a comment, question? We'll be happy to take. We'll wait for a couple of seconds more to hear from you. And while we are waiting to hear from you, we'd like to share with you that our session next Saturday and Sunday is on yoga for gut health. So please stay tuned for the announcement and sign up for that session. This is a very special session. Our gut is also referred to as our second brain, and in consonance with our brain, which is there in our head, and the gut, together it helps us in being happier and taking better quality decisions. So that is the session we have at 8 a.m. on coming Saturday, which is 14th of October. The details will be shared in our Mindful Living groups shortly. So I invite you to join that. Yeah, so Sanjay says, thank you, Sanjay, that he's met you and he's very impressed with you, Rajiv ji, as we all are. Thank you for sharing that. And if there are no more questions, we will like to draw the session to a close. Rajiv ji, any closing comments before we...
No, I am very grateful. I feel blessed. I thank you, Ashish ji, for conducting such sessions regularly. They are very beneficial. You find some people who can, affect our life positively every week. And that's a great thing that you're doing. And I thank all the people, all the beautiful people who have joined this session. And may God bless you all. And may you use a bit of your total fortune for people who cannot do anything for you.
Absolutely.
With this, I thank each and every one of you. And I thank, like Nitya, one of the gurus that I follow, says, the highest in me bows to the highest in you. May this day be the best day of your life.
Thank you, Rajiv ji. I also follow Nitya. So the highest in me bows to the highest in you. May this day be the happiest day of your life. God bless everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Look forward to welcoming you at our yoga session at 8 a.m. on 14th of October. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.